Time for some more fun with Thru Hike Skill Practice Dice. When you get a roll like this, we don't necessarily do any filming. I'm going to go off in the woods on my own. Thank you anyway. But I do want to talk about my system, so we'll do that. I have a separate video, I'll put a link in the description, that basically goes over the bidet testing and which one I picked. There was one other really good one, but I chose this one. So if you want to learn anything about the poop system, yeah, go over there. I just have the regular standard deuce with a duct tape on the handle. Sorry, there's a plane going over. And that system there. For now, I have it in this orange bag. I'll figure out where I'm stashing it in the pack later. I also keep a spare little thing of toilet paper just in case it's freezing cold out and I don't want to use that, or for any kind of emergency. I always have a little bit. I also carry a little bit of hand sanitizer and a tiny dropper of camp soap so that at the end of the day I can clean up anything I need to clean up. I do keep this in its own Ziploc bag so that any dirt or mud doesn't get all over everything else. I like to keep these items sanitary, they're in a bag, yada yada. Now we'll go over the P system. This part is for the ladies. So I originally tried the Kula Cloth and I'm really not a fan. I tried it for years and I really hoped I would figure out something else, and I was devoted to figure out something better. First, I really hate the way it unsnaps, which I can't really do on camera. I don't know why they didn't have it fold over and unsnap it from the outside. It just seems counterintuitive to unsnap it on the inside to open it, which I'm not strong enough with one hand. I also could never find the perfect place to hang this on my backpack. If I put it on the side somewhere, I couldn't reach it very well to keep my pack on and pee, because I can squat down with the pack on and pee. And having it in the front belt, it just was in the way. You don't really want something in urine flapping around anywhere, even if it is in the inside. And then if it rained, like all that's coming out on the outside of the pack. So I never really liked it. I was glad to get rid of it. It's barely used. I am now using the PStyle, which is amazing. If you haven't tried it, it will change your whole life. I have one of these in the car now. If you go somewhere like a fair or something where there's outhouses, you can stand up and not have to sit on the seat. It's very easy to use. It comes with instructions, so I'm not going to explain that all to you. But the first time you try it, I have like 8 acres of wood, so it's real easy for me. But wear a loose elastic shorts or something, or pants, so it's really easy to just pull down the front a little bit and try it and be at home. So if you miss or dribble it first or anything like that, you can quickly go in and clean up. So stay close to home. It takes about 3 times to master it, but each time is like a minute. And you figure out you don't want to hold it flat, you don't want to hold it too low either, but you figure out that perfect angle. The thing about this system that's great is you don't need toilet paper after, or a Kula Cloth. So when you finish, do a quick shimmy over the cup section, and then don't like pull it against you. You're just gently kind of gliding it over just to loosen any droplets in. That's your wipe. And then you finish and you kind of shake it out, and you can rinse it with a quick squirt from your water bottle, and you can rebag it in its own Ziploc bag. For now, I have it in this orange bag, so it stays sanitary. And every night in camp, you can use a drop of camp soap to clean it just quickly. That's what's really great about that. At night in your tent, I have just a regular, I think it's gelato or something, gelato container, screw top, and that's for in the middle of the night if you have to pee while you're in your tent. For a tent, I have a Duren X-Mid Pro 2, a 2-person tent, which is like a 1.5-person tent really. And it has 2 vestibules, 2 zippers. So whatever one I'm using for my front door, I use the other one I reserve for this. I just keep the screw top on it at night. There's a pocket right near there, so I can have this in its own Ziploc bag near the door. And if during the night I need to go to the bathroom, I don't have to leave the tent. And I don't want to leave the tent first because I'm a courteous person. I don't want to stumble around in camp in the middle of the night. I don't want to trip over anyone's tent lines. That's totally me. I'm clumsy. If it's cold out, I don't want to let the cold air into my tent. If it's warm out, I don't want bugs getting into my tent. And I'm kind of lazy and don't really want to go walking around in the middle of the night. What if there's a bear there? So you use this, you kneel down in the tent, you place this as you would, and with your other hand, you lift up the cup. You do want this actually in the cup. Don't be trying any funny angles in your tent. You just hold it up. And when you're done, you kind of shake it out, put it in the Ziploc bag, screw this on, Put it outside in the vestibule, zip it closed. You can deal with it in the morning. You can use it multiple times during the night because you're probably not going to fill it that much. And then in the morning, you can go dump it either in a porta potty or whatever's out there, or where you'd be peeing in the woods, and just empty it. Clean it with a drop of camp soap, swish it out. You're ready. When you get to town, obviously do thorough cleanings of everything. But you've probably heard all this before. What you may not have heard is the problem, the one problem with this system, which is so funny, is not a physical system. This works perfectly. 3 tries and you're going to master this. But it's a mental block, because we as women don't want to pee our pants. So when you only have the front of your pants down and this is in place, you may have a hard time peeing because it feels like you're about to wet your pants. So you're like, oh, I can't do it. So there's something in you that blocks you from having to go. And that's the reason you should have this now, or at least before you hike, and get used to using it and get your brain used to saying, yeah, it's okay. I know I'm not going to pee my pants. So if you get that mental block where you either can't go or not much comes out, stop, clean it up, set it aside, give yourself a rest, wait for that urge to come over you again to the point where, you got to go, and try it again. And just keep doing that, and eventually you'll learn to release all and go. After you've mastered that, the second is you're in a tent now, and you have to kneel on the ground and pee in this. And the same mental block's going to happen even if you've already mastered standing and peeing, because you're going to be in a tent now, and you're going to be thinking, like, part of your brain as women goes to this place of, I don't want to pee in the bed, or I don't want to pee in the tent, and I don't want to pee in my pajamas. So you have to fight that instinct again. So you have that mental block to get over. If you don't want to pitch your tent and practice at night, which is what I did and how I found out, it took a few times to figure out how to get first, you're kneeling, you're in a different position than we as women are used to. And second of all, it's a mental block. So the way to beat that is, if you don't have access to camping ahead of time, is just go in your bathroom with a linoleum floor. After you're good at the stand-up and pee, kneel on the bathroom floor in a place where you can easily clean if you needed to, although I doubt you will, and practice there and see if you have that same mental block. And if you do, you now have to practice in this situation. And that will best prepare you for tent days someday. But don't worry, if that happens to you, I know I'm not the only one, because I've talked to other people, but we've all said, like, I don't know anyone else who's ever mentioned this before. But if you hit that block, you just have to take a break and try again, and keep doing that till you figure it out. And once you make it over that line, going forward, you won't have to worry about that anymore. So it's pretty fantastic. And I imagine it might change again too as women, when you're peeing off the side of the trail and people come. Does it stop now? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, that is the system I use, and it is amazing because, again, you no longer need this. I carry this for emergency, like maybe some drips or something, but on the whole, this goes bye-bye. And toilet paper goes bye-bye. And the real good thing about that too is everyone says at some point on the trail, you get sick and the diarrhea comes, and you run out of this really fast. So the nice thing about the bidet system is you never run out of a way to clean yourself as long as you have water in your water bottle. So I hope that helps. So this is my Duren CA. I will probably have the cat hole system in the back, but I don't know yet. I'll decide that stuff on trail and rearrange. But for now, my PStyle goes right in the side pocket. I can easily reach it, pull it out and use it, and tuck it back after. Whether or not I keep it there when I'm on the AT, I don't know, but that's where it goes now, and it works really well, so it's reachable. When I had the Kula Cloth on here, I just couldn't reach back and get it, or get it re-snapped up. I didn't like it on the hip belts. I didn't like it hanging on the back, because like I said, if it rains or anything, it gets down into the mesh pocket, so wasn't a huge fan of that. Love this. When using the PStyle on trail, nothing shows. Like, you're standing up, your bottom's covered because you don't have to take your pants down, you're standing up, and even with your pants down in the front in this in place, nothing is showing. Nothing at all. So on trail, if you have to go to the bathroom, you don't have to find a bush or a rock, or if you're in the middle of a meadow, you don't have to wait 15 minutes. You can just go. It's very discreet and it protects your privacy. Plus, you don't have to squat down in poison ivy, which is a big concern of mine. What if you happen to nestle down in the wrong spot? I mean, there's just so many reasons that this is just better. than squatting down and using a Kula Cloth. And what if there's snow on the ground? That was one of my things too. If it's cold in the ground, I mean, I know you got to do it for a cat hole, but I wouldn't want to do it every time I had to pee. Even from a safety perspective, not having to walk off of trail and go into the wilderness to find a place to squat and pee is a good thing. I mean, if you don't have to step far off trail to urinate, it's safer to stay closer to the trail. So it's even a built-in safety feature. Oh, but the one thing I should mention is they sell, I got mine on Amazon, and you can order separately a PStyle case that will hook onto your hip belt. I ordered it, it came in, it is actually really heavy. It's made from a thick fabric that is heavy in itself already. I certainly don't want to carry it, but if it ever rained, you just know this thing's gonna wick up another double its weight in water. I sent it back and I just got it. For now, I have a lightweight. I always like to go with orange. That way when I look back at wherever I've been, I can see my things if I've left them on the ground. I don't know if this is what I'll take on trail, but I think it was like 20 of these bags for like $5 on Amazon. They were just some cheap little drawstring bag. So I can wash it out at home too, if I want to. But I might go with a Ziploc bag on trail. I really don't know. But do not get the PStyle case. It's really not built for backpacking. Weighty, wicks up water. For the record, 22 grams versus Kula Cloth, which is 13 grams. So you do save 9 grams with this, but you can't stand up and you lose your privacy. So is my privacy worth 9 extra grams? Yes, especially if I'm not peeing in poison ivy. I'll take it. And I can pee in my tent at night. You cannot do that with a Kula Cloth. Nope. Things are scary, cemetery.